Hello Internet, what's going on? I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic. Well, it's often been said that it was never as good as it was in the trailers when it comes to talking about movies or shows. And thanks to Hollywood, that's only gotten worse as we are excited and intrigued by the overhyping that the trailers cause, only to be let down by the results.
Kinda like YouTube and its thumbnails. Ooh la la, click.
Hello YouTube, I'm Mr. Scientist, and today we're going to be studying jiggle physics. Now, unfortunately I don't have any clips for this video, but that's okay. All we need is the math anyways.
You lied to me!
But is that the case with RWBY, the American anime created by Mario and Rooster Teeth?
If it was made in America, you can't necessarily call it an anime now, can you?
Shut up, you racist bastards.
For those poor fools who don't know, I reviewed the 4 trailers released for this anime web series, and each one gave us a little insight for each of the 4 main characters, as well as giving us a general idea of just how cool the action was going to be like.
Now, I've already praised these videos for being more like pilot episodes than actual trailers, because as we all know, trailers are about as accurate at describing the movies or show as E3 is as describing video games.
For more on the subject, I believe there's an Australian git who's more than annoyed to explain it to you.
Now, Rooster Teeth has already made a great web series that is arguably one of the main reasons that they have grown so much. You may know of it, even if you don't know about Rooster Teeth, as Red vs. Blue, the show that kickstarted a dozen machinimas.
I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing. With it, Rooster Teeth has shown that they're able to deliver some awesome comedies and endearing characters, and later on in the show, thanks to Monty Ohm, some sweet action. Well, they have yet to make a good plot.
Insulting them to suck up to them. That'll work.
Either way, the blokes at Rooster Teeth have set themselves to bring us another web series in the form of an anime. An American anime, but still an anime.
Will it be as great and cool as Red vs. Blue?
I think most people already know that answer.
Well, let's watch the first episode and find out. So without further ado, let's get this review started. Connor, roll the clip.
Legends. Stories
Narration.
of time.
Lovely.
Look, I know it's a way to tell the audience about the world and get them up to scratch with the story, but it's all too often used by lazy writers just looking for an easy way to start a tale.
Stories
One sin.
through time.
Oh, right. I'm not the extremely popular channel that makes fun of movies, nor any one of the dozen bastard children it spawned.
I'm just some wannabe critic making fun of giants. Either way, one sin.
Through time.
Anywho, I'm sure you don't want Cortana here to bore you with a 90-second long narration of this world, so allow me to break it down for you. It's pretty much your stereotypical origin story of mankind, explaining that man likes his legends and stories, and one of the earliest is how mankind came from the dust of the earth.
Yeah, I wonder where they got that idea.
She explains that man has many enemies, and none were more deadly than the creatures of Grimm, who sought to destroy us and our world. Like we need their help, and would stop at nothing until we were gone. But mankind is resilient, resourceful, and in many cases weird as hell, and found a way to hold them off in the form of an elementally charged mineral called crystals. I mean dust, that's what I meant. Named so for from dust we came, now we use dust to hold our right to exist. With it, and mankind's natural propensity, they began to thrive again. However, darkness is planning a comeback tour, and nothing mankind does will stop it.
And here we get our first look at one of our characters. I think this walk of theirs down the street needs some appropriate music. Not this ethereal garbage.
You're right. I know.
I'm singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling.
Oh wait, that scene didn't end very well. Cut the music! Cut it!
Okay, well, anyways, our pack of goons reach the shop and we hear our last bit of narration.
There will be no victory in strength.
But perhaps victory is in the simpler things that you've long forgotten. Things that require a smaller, more honest soul.
Hey, it's Red! The hell's she doing here?
Don't you know? In anime, the protagonist always appears where they're needed.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to find a dust shop open this late?
We don't know it now, but we soon find out that this shop here is the equivalent of a gun store, and there is no one guarding it apart from Grandpa Hedgehog here.
I mean, seriously, god damn it! Are things that bad that you have to go to the old folks' home to find employees? You can't hire just one more minimum wage kid just to keep this from happening?
You know what? Screw it. You deserve to be robbed.
I think a dollar store has better security than this place. So yeah, these guys start tossing the place, stealing all the pixie stick powder, possibly for some serious sugar high later on, when one of them notices Red in the back, listening to some self-congratulatory music. Being a sensible goon, he decides to rob the girl.
I said, put your hands in the air, now.
Now, I could describe what happens next, but a fellow YouTuber by the name of The Overseer made a RWBY abridged. Yeah, cause those are so original. And he has a scene in it, which I think sums this up nicely. Let's give it a watch.
Hands in the air, now.
Wait, are you robbing me?
Yes.
Uh-huh. You know, I don't see why you'd want to take from me. You've already got something of your own. Something very special.
Okay, what's that?
Some fucking balls.
See what I mean? Mwah. Beautiful.
Get her?
Guys, I meant shoot her. We have guns. Why do bad guys always get this stupid henchman?
Well, Red, I'm afraid this is where we part ways.
Okay, I made it in the yellow trailer that these combination weapons are pretty cool, but this is getting ridiculous.
Yes, I know these cane guns were a real thing in our world, but he's a mod, sir! Wouldn't a normal gun work just as well, if not better, considering those cane guns were never all that accurate? See, you missed because it's slow, inaccurate, and stupid, and you're stupid! Anyways, Mr. Clockwork Orange here tries to escape, but Red gives chase. How the hell do you fly a jet in the city without alerting everybody?
I can hardly find my drone in my own backyard without it being shot down by the FBI.
Told you to get a permit.
And let them have the satisfaction? I think not!
Anyways, back to the video. Senior Bowler Cap here jumps on board and tries to once again escape, but is stopped short when a wild tsundere appears.
The hell is that?
Don't look it up.
I'm gonna look it up.
Idiot. I warned you.
People are into this? What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, mankind has always been pervy and slightly masochistic.
I'm just gonna move on and hope that I can sleep tonight.
Anywho, like we said, this lady appears out of nowhere and prevents the bad guys from escaping. Expecto Patronum! Dude, I know she's attacking him and all, but you are in a jet.
Whoop and fly away!
You literally have all the sky to fly, and she hasn't tethered you down or nothing, so what's the problem?
Do you like getting your ass handed to you?
Well, I just did call her a tsundere.
We are not acknowledging that creepy fan base!
Anyway, somehow this good witch here prevents them from getting away, so the bowler hat dude sends out another one of his henchmen who, probably because she's a girl and this is an anime, is able to fend them off. Cause you know what they say, you want to fight off a tsundere? Get another tsundere. Plus the end might lead to some interesting results. She's blocking the bullets with her hand. Hacks! Hacks! I call hacks! Well, thanks to that cheating bitch, the bad guys managed to escape, leaving Blondie here with Red.
You're a huntress. Can I have your autograph?
Okay, again, we don't know it now, but there are superhero people in this world called huntsmen and huntresses. They're protectors of the people and keepers of the peace, which sounds pretty cool and unique until later on we realize that they are pretty common, enough to need their own school. Oh yeah, spoiler alert, there's schools here that teach kids how to control their powers and become heroes.
That's a totally fresh and new idea that has been used up like the last bit of toothpaste in a hydraulics press.
And if they're common enough to need a frickin' school, then her asking for an autograph is like me walking up to a mall cop and asking for a picture.
In other words, it's a stupid segue to get us to the next scene.
I hope you realize that your actions tonight will not be taken lightly, young lady.
Child abuse! Call the police! Oh, wait.
But there's someone here who would like to meet you.
My parents? Oh, no, it's just the guy who sells wacky glasses on the street corner.
Speaking of our parents, do they even know where their child is?
Up
Did you just take this girl downtown and start grilling her without calling her mom and dad? And where are her parents? Does she have parents?
No, I'm serious, people. I don't think her parents are mentioned even once as living in this season. I mean, volume.
Which, if they aren't, makes her the stereotypical orphan nanny that we usually get in shows like this. And if they are mentioned, feel free to call me a dumbass in the comments section below.
Not it matters. Your hate only fuels me.
Anywho, as this wizard walks in, we finally hear our main protagonist's name.
Ruby Rose.
Spelled, of course, like this.
You have silver eyes.
You're on a sex offenders list, aren't you?
It's anime, dude. Everybody's got fucked up eye and hair color. Oh well, I guess it's not important because it's never brought up again.
Thank you for wasting my time.
So yeah, Creepy McOld Fart here wants to ask Ruby, a few questions and decides to bribe her with some cookies. Which of course she doesn't.
Two things, sweetie.
One, you do realize there's a thing that exists that's called diabetes?
And second, did you never learn about not taking sweets from strange old men? Do you not know about stranger danger?
I hope you enjoy those cookies before the rubies kick in and you wake up 3 days later with no memory of what happened except that you're missing your wallet, most of your clothing, and other important things. Pum pum kimochi, what's the sticky stuff on?
We are never listening to that song again!
I've only seen one other scythe wielder of that skill before. A dusty old crow.
Oh, that's my Uncle Crow.
So she does have a guardian! Why wasn't he called? I'm sorry, the character you're calling is unavailable at the current moment. Please try again in 3 volumes. Oh, Ruby here pretty much spills the beans, telling them her life's ambition to become an X-Men. I mean, Teen Titan. Shit.
Damn it, where's my script? Huntress! Huntress, that's the word I was looking for.
But husband and huntresses are just so much more romantic and exciting and cool. You know?
Do you know who I am?
You're Professor Ozpin. You're the headmaster at Beacon.
Oh, so you do know who this guy is. Still doesn't excuse you for immediately eating those damn cookies.
You want to come to my school?
More than anything.
Well, okay.
Why can't it be this easy when I apply to a university?
I mean, I wig out every time I tell people I want to rule the world, but the University of Illinois has yet to call me back.
Oh, I can't believe my baby sister's going to Beacon with me.
Oh my god, it's Barbara!
I love you! That's not coming off too strong, is it?
Nah. By the way, you need some water?
What? Why?
Cause you thirsty as hell, virgin dumbass!
Oh, I can't believe my baby sister's going to Beacon with me.
I still don't think they're sisters!
I mean, are we sure this wasn't a translation area? Isn't that what happens to anime when it's dubbed?
Anywho, the two talk about how Ruby doesn't want all the attention and she just wants to be normal and other protagonist cliches when they're interrupted by the news. Apparently this dude's name was Roman Torchwick and he's still on the run, so watch out, ladies. In other informative news, the Weeaboo and Furry Festival, or Faunus as they like to be called, was interrupted by the evil cliche anime gang called the White Fang, as they crashed the party because they weren't invited. But the exposition news gets cut short as the dominatrix lady appears via hologram.
Execute Order 66.
I'm sorry guys, I couldn't read this.
Bad jokes aside, we find out that this old broad's name is Glinda Goodwitch, clearly copied from the anime version of The Wizard of Oz, and we realize that the reason she cut off the exposition news was to give exposition herself. Which, considering the cardboard cutout we just had a second ago, is a lovely 3-dimensional jiggling change.
Okay, anyway, Goodwitch here pretty much just gives them the usual school welcoming speech.
Telling Ruby, Yang, and the crowd of shadow people how lucky they are to go to such a school, and that they expect great things from them. And that, though this is an anime, the girls' locker room is still off limit to boys. Luckily, I'm a skull, not a boy. It looks like you guys have been in the air for some time now, and there's no shutters on those windows, so you shouldn't be amazed anymore by the view.
Unless it's an anime, in which case then cute girls are always being amazed by things.
Oh look, a puppy! Oh look, another cute thing! Oh look, a chance to explore female characters!
Hey look, one of the shadow people evolved into an actual character!
Again, dude, you've been able to see how high you are for a while. Why are you just now throwing up? Well, how else are they going to introduce the underdog character?
Actual clever writing?
stupid.
Well, I guess the view isn't for everyone. I wonder who we're gonna meet.
I just hope they're better than Vomit Boy.
Well, if you criticize every new person you're gonna meet, you're not gonna be very popular.
Trust me, I'm speaking from personal experience.
Oh, how clever of you! You put the intro at the end! You must be so proud of yourself because it is actually pretty good.
I've got nothing else to say about this. This intro is pretty cool. Go watch it yourself. And there you go, the first real episode of the show RWBY. So how was it? It's okay.
Yeah, in all honesty, there wasn't anything here that was so fantastic. I was like, oh my god, I've got to see this show. Nor was there anything so mediocre that it made me want to sue Rooster Teeth for my wasted time. It was just good.
Which, before any of you overly codependent fanboys start raging in the comment section,
too late. I already can sense the crying and butthurt.
Isn't necessarily a bad thing.
When beginning a new series, whether it be a series of books or shows, it's often better to make the first release just simply good than being radically awesome, dude. This is because as time goes on, more and more are attracted to the show, and as the fan base grows, expectations rise, and we expect things to be as good or better than what came before. It's like what we expect and fail to get in sequels.
This means that the creators have to work extra hard in order to maintain that level of quality. And RWBY wasn't made by some anime creating superstar.
Yes, it was.
Nor was it funded by a major anime production studio.
It was made by Monty Ohm, who, as great as he was, never made a real show before. And it was produced by Rooster Teeth, who, despite their work with Red vs. Blue, had only made short videos on YouTube.
And believe me, making a successful anime nowadays is a hell of a lot more difficult than you think.
The number of new anime every year is pretty high compared to other mediums, and most of them are just mediocre shows full of boobs, action, girls, and other stupid cliches. Just so you guys know, I'm not complaining about that stuff. He does not speak for me.
However, for the first episode, it was actually pretty good. Even better when you consider what I just said about Monty Ohm and Rooster Teeth. And very similar to the trailers, we still haven't gotten much information what the story's going to be about yet.
It's clear that something is going on, perhaps something very big, but it's also very unclear exactly what it is. That's not a good thing, because it doesn't leave us wondering what's going to happen next, but instead has us asking what's going on in the first place. And the character introduction is also done slightly poorly too, as we know very little about our main character, RWBY, or her place in this world.
However, that doesn't mean that this episode was bad.
As I said, it is pretty good. We quickly learn that a war or battle of some kind is on the horizon and that mankind is going to be tested. We also learn that there are creatures called Grimm who may play an important part in this fight. And while the character introduction isn't exactly smooth, they're presented to us in such an entertaining way that it more than makes up for it.
As you might have already guessed, the most interesting character shown in this episode was the orange-haired, king-unwielding, smooth-talking Roman Torchwick.
Don't forget Devilishly Handsome.
And Devilishly Handsome. Even though it's just the first episode, we're immediately drawn into this charismatic villain to the point where we're enjoying every second he's on screen.
And the other characters weren't bad either. RWBY is cute and cuddly, Ozpin is pleasant but mysterious, Senorita Dominatrix is strict and scary as hell, and Yang is just awesome. Oh yes she is, in two very important ways.
And as I've already stated before, the art style here is perfect for these kind of visuals.
In the usual 2D representation of anime, it's often very time-consuming and difficult to animate fights. But with this 3D, cel-shaded animation, not only does it allow the characters to move and act more smoothly, but since everything we see here is animated in a virtual environment, we can get some camera angles and shots that are normally very difficult to achieve in 2D animation.
Speaking about being digitally designed, since all this is being rendered to computer, all these models can be easily reused, and with enough rendering time, they can make a new episode without too much trouble.
So that's how most anime make their filler episodes.
Now, I really can't say much else about the show since it is just the first episode, but I will say that it does have promise.
It has managed to set things up and introduce us to the world, as well as some splendid characters, all the while piquing our interest.
Now all we have to do is just keep watching and see where it goes. With that, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic. With me, no movie sacred, no video safe, but all deserve a chance. Catch you guys later. Toodles!
Ruby Rose, you have silver eyes.